Well, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to a Therapeutic Edge. I have something cool on the table. This is the Southern Grind Spider Monkey. Now, as you guys know, I recently picked up a bad monkey that's sort of special. This is this is number 3 of 10 in the world. This happens to be in CPM M4. And I really sort of fell in love with it. I love the way the handle is shaped. I love the design. It's just a really kind of aggressive and cool liner lock. This is a cool knife. But it meant that now I was sort of focused on the company. And while I would be hard pressed to go out and get one of their standard versions of this in 14C because they're very expensive, I did start poking around and recently came across this. This is, as I said, it's a spider monkey, and as you can see, obviously, it is considerably smaller, and yet still very comfortable. Now, these, or some version of this, are available. We're going to do the review of this, knowing that you may not find this exact one. But this is a cool little knife. Now, not that long ago, I would not have been that interested in a cool little knife, but my tastes have sort of shifted. And I'm kind of digging on smaller, easier to carry knives. Part of that is the job I have. I can't really carry a big, bulky knife. Part of that is just me, right? Kind of going through an evolution of my interest in knives. And this is, it's just a very cool little knife, to be sure. Well, let's take a look at what you get. So on the Spider Monkey here, you get just over 3 3 1/16 inches of cutting on 3 1/4 inches of S35 VN, which is very cool. This one happens to be all blacked out. It's got the standard sort of Southern Grind thumb studs, which work very well. This one happens to be carbon fiber. It is steel liners. It's got the, it's kind of funny actually, it has the same size pocket clip as the big giant bad monkey here. They're very similar in overall shape and design, although this one is, as you can see, a little smaller. But because of the way it's shaped with this sort of overhang, I still get a really good grip on this knife. It's got really nice all blacked out hardware. Overall length, grip area on the Spider Monkey here is coming in at just 3 1/2 inches. And yet, you know, so I'm right at the tail end of it. It's not bad. Overall length, we're coming in at a little over 7 1/4 inches. It is fairly light. It's got really nice action. It snaps right open. It's good. It's high flat grind. Oh, well, excuse me. It's got a nice high grind. It's got a little bit of a flat up here at the top. But it does come down to a very nice edge, which is very even along the length of the blade. As you can see, let's see if I get that to shine for you there and there, right? It's very nicely, evenly ground. It's a nice piece. It's got a lanyard hole if you're into that sort of thing. I'm not, but you might be, and if you are, they've got you covered. Other than that, I can speak. Watch me go. It's got very simple construction. It does have one thing I don't like, and it's the same over here on the Bad Monkey. They have proprietary hardware for the body screws. They use standard Torx on the pocket clip, and you can use the standard Torx to tighten the pivot, but the body screws are something else, and that's, you know, not my favorite thing in the world. It is a do-it-yourself maintenance knife world at this point, and having a knife that they make it even that extra little step of challenging is sort of annoying, but that's okay. It's got some nice jimping right here. You know, my thumb comes a little forward on that because I have slightly bigger hands, but still gives you good purchase. This knife is really well sized for working up close, opening packages, doing small work, draw cuts. And I think it's just cool looking, right? The logo for the Bad Monkey, of course, is there. The Spider Monkey has a slightly different design there on the pivot. Now, they make a whole bunch of varieties and variations of this. So again, your mileage may vary for the one that you find, but I think this one is cool. Closed length, coming in at, with this sort of overhang back here, we're coming in at 4 and just under 4 1/4 inches. And the in the pocket profile, pretty good. 1 1/4 at its absolute widest. It is a really nice carry. I carried it all day today, and going back about a week or so, I carried it quite a bit. And I've really enjoyed it. I like its big brother better just because it's bigger. But yeah, the flat truth is that with this being such a rare find, 3 of 10, this one's not going to get nearly as much pocket time as it probably should. The previous owner did carry it quite a bit, put some wear on it, but unlike this one, if I was to do something stupid and screw this up, I would not be able to get another one. So I'm careful with it. This thing, on the other hand, while it is kind of a special edition, well, this one is, with the carbon fiber and the all blacked out, is not super common. If I screwed this one up, I could get another one, and I would. It's a neat little knife. Very comfortable, very easy to use, very great in the pocket. I really dig it. So let's do some size comparisons, because like I said, this is not a big knife. I mean, for me, this is a small knife, but I think women carry knives would probably call it medium. Let's do some size comparisons. As you can see, it's about the same size overall as the Bug Out. Very similar amount of cutting, even very similar sort of blade shape. But the handle on the Spider Monkey, at least for my hands, is considerably more comfortable. I've always said that the Bug Out is just a little lean for me. I mean, it's great, but this has got a little more girth. It's the word I'm going to use. Just makes it a little more comfortable in hand for me. The raised lip of this pocket clip you can feel it. I was cutting up some cardboard the other day, and after a while I started to notice it, but that's just sort of the way it goes. Whereas, of course, with the Bug Out, there's no hot spots at all. So anyway, what else do we have on the table? Well, here's our old friend, the full-size Reptilian. As you can see, it's considerably larger than the Spider Monkey. And here's a knife that you're going to see a little later this week, in fact. This is the Pentagon XR LTE from the folks at SOG. You can see that is considerably bigger. However, keeping a sort of SOG thing going, here it is against the Terminus XR LTE, which is a little smaller than the Southern Grind Spider Monkey. So I don't know if any of that helps you. I hope it does. It's a really nice sort of, for me, small, but I guess really sort of mid-size EDC tool, and it's really well built for those purposes. Let's go ahead and weigh it out. Doesn't feel that heavy. We'll see where it lands. Yeah, 3.1 ounces. By comparison, the LTE version of the SOG here is 2.3. And this, of course, is 1.9, 1.8. So it's a good mid-weight fighter. Not too heavy, not too light, comfortable in the pocket. I wonder how much of that S35VN they give you. Let's find out together. There it is. Zero that out. Thickest point behind the thumb studs here, you are looking at 3.25 millimeters, 3.24 millimeters. So it starts with enough blade stock to be sort of robust, right? I don't worry about this thing. It's got plenty of, it's thick enough to feel like you can really put it to work. But because the flat is only this tall, it drops down from a nice, reasonably high spot. It comes to, as I said, a very nice edge. It's a really great little knife. These are not inexpensive. I'll put the link in the description with the current prices. Because I got this used, I'm not sure how much this one was originally. Hang on, let's see if I can find out. Hang on just a second. Okay, a little poking around tells me that, yeah, okay. Standard models, this is about $261. This particular model looks like is on eBay for about $300. And it's expensive for a small knife, but Southern Grind is not an inexpensive knife company. However, they are very well made, and they are very cool looking, and they are very cool in the pocket. So if you're interested in this, I'll put a link in the description where you can find something similar, and I hope that you follow that up. If so, I'm also going to put a link to Corte Chris Cutlery. He's my sort of go-to used knife guy. He is where I found this as well. And that's where we're going to wrap it up. This is the Southern Grind Spider Monkey. A knife that is smaller than most of the knives that I really get into, but very cool nonetheless. I hope you've enjoyed this look at it. I know I have enjoyed carrying it. And on that note, we're going to wrap up. Hope you guys have a great day. We'll see you next time.